Alrighty, welcome to Supernatural Signals, my haunted journal edition. If you're new here, this is my haunted journal. It's where I casually yap about what's going on in my life, especially anything supernatural I'm experiencing. I also share channel updates, everyday life with my boyfriend, nicknamed Kermie, and thoughts on things in the media like true crime, though supernatural is usually the main focus. On this channel, you'll find three types of content: this haunted journal series, short mini mysteries, which you can find over in my shorts tab, and longer investigative deep dive videos. So if you're interested in any of that type of content, please consider subscribing. Thank you. All right, so usually in this video, I always do updates on my life, entertainment things I'm enjoying, and just little daily updates on me and just stuff I've been enjoying. So we'll start off with that, and then we're going to move into the Kouri Richins sentencing, which is actually happening live right now. They're doing the defense statements for her sentencing, which they've been going on far too long, in my opinion. I like I we'll get into that in a minute, but yeah. So life updates, nothing too much since I've last talked to you. Kermie and I did go out yesterday and got some food, and then we saw Devil's Wear Prada 2, and that was really, really good. And then we also came home, and then we saw on Disney Hulu Plus that the movie Send Help came out. So we watched that. Excuse me. So I will discuss both of those in one moment. Um, and then just like what I thought about them and everything like that. And then yeah, I think that's kind of it about stuff, just getting some stuff done. And yeah, so this will just be like a hot take of what I think about the movies, and we'll get into that. Oh, and before I get into the movies, I do want to mention before I get into the movies, I do want to mention I'm playing video games. I'm still, if you're following at all, the Midnight Walk. I'm going to try and finish that later this week. I started getting back into a little bit of Silk Song. I am playing the second lace, and so hopefully moving into the third part soon. But yeah, just in case you're interested in video game, that's where I'm at. And then I'm going to try and finish up the Midnight Walk, which I'm really enjoying. I kind of like want to savor it. And again, those type of video games, like I said, Lost Lace, or not Lost Lace, Silk Song and Hollow Knight are just stuff I just like play throughout the day when I have like a mini break, or if I have, like right before I'm about to go watch a movie with Kermie or something, or, I just play it throughout the day. And then like those type of video games, I like to sit down and actually, think, because it has such a good storyline. So we'll be getting back to that shortly. Okay, so moving into the movies, we saw The Devils Wear Prada 2, and I really liked it. It was a little different than I thought it was going to be, but that doesn't mean it was bad. It was just different. I still really liked it. I will definitely be watching again when it comes to streaming or whatever the case. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite lines in it is when she's like trying to get the Anne Hathaway, Andy Sachs character is, I think that's her name, Andy. She's trying to like save the magazine. She's making all these phone calls, and she's like, "Yes, I had a lot of caffeine." I'm just like, "Yeah, that reminds me of me." But like, I thought, I don't know. I just thought it was a really good movie. I like the sentiment of it. I like how there was like really no bad guys in it. It was just like, you know, just everyone trying to like save their butts in their career and things like that. And I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as fast paced as I thought it was going to be. And I hate to say it, I feel like there wasn't as much iconic moments as there was in the first one, but that's okay. I still really like the storyline. I feel like Meryl Streep did really, really, really good job of like, I don't know. I feel like her character was more vulnerable this one, even more so, and I really like how she portrayed it, right? Where it was like you could see it like crack a little bit, but she's still, you know, I don't know. Like, and then there's this one scene when she's in the limo. It's kind of like towards the end. There's going to be spoilers, but kind of towards the end, she's talking about how she loves work, and then she's like, "Don't you?" And Anne Hathaway's character's like, "Yeah," and like, I don't know. It's like she's like, "I'm not that much of a freak that I love this so much," and I did feel bad for Emily Blunt's character in the sense that Meryl Streep is kind of mean to her, and that's what caused her character to do all this, right? Because she felt like she was entitled to it and she wasn't treated right, and things like that. But and she just says like really mean things to her, and I feel bad for her, but at the same time, it's like with Meryl Streep, and I think Andy, the Anne Hathaways, I think she understands this part of Meryl's character. Like her work, it's like difference between like loving working and moving up the corporate ladder and admiring people and things like that, and like really just having a passion that you can't even put into words for it. And you can just tell when she's like standing towards the end, like with all the shops and the stores, like it's art to her, it's her life, it's her everything, it's her purpose, right? Like she was willing to go do, uh go on the plane to keep her job, right? Where she wasn't in first class, she was sitting in the economy section, you know what I mean? And it's like, and Andy's like, well, why is she doing that? It's because she loves her job so much that she's gonna do it. You think most people would quit, and it was just like, no, this is, she doesn't want to give it up. You know what I mean? Like, so she'll do that, right? And most people, she could just go retire and write a book or work with another publication or get another job somewhere. But she just loved her job and her purpose so much that, like it was irreplaceable. And I think with Emily Blunt's characters, I don't think she gets that. Like, I think she thinks like, I love it and I'm smart and she's all those things, right? She's all those things, but I just don't think she's as crazy as for it, right? You know what I mean? And I think Meryl saw that a long time ago, right? And I don't know, I just thought it was really well done. I liked how they showed kind of like older millennials like going through job crisis too, because sometimes I think that gets a little forgotten because Gen Z's kind of like going through the same thing millennials were going through. It's hard to get a job and all these things. And I'm glad they didn't forget the 40, early 40, mid 40 people too, because they're still struggling. They're mid career trying to get the jobs that the quote unquote Gen Xers and the boomers have. And it's really hard to do that nowadays, right? There's just so many generations and so many people trying to feel like they belong and not forgotten about. And I don't know. I just think that part was really well done too, how they kind of reminded that of it, right? And I don't know. And I didn't really hate any of the characters. Sometimes I get annoyed with characters easily. There really wasn't anywhere where I'm just like, get off my screen. Like, I loved it. I loved uh again, I love how they showcase like the stability aspects again that a lot of millennials face, where it's like I feel like a lot of millennials didn't really get a chance to be adults because they were just trying to survive. And I feel like previous generations before that kind of got that stability and got to live and get in a house and get the white picket fence. And as someone that myself hasn't gotten there yet, right? It's like it's a struggle that doesn't, you know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of like, I don't know, the economy's so crazy, and just her being like, can I buy this apartment? Can I not? I've been there, friends have been there, older people that I know have been there. Like it's one of those things where I don't think it gets really showcased a lot of it. And it's like so many people are scared to actually start their lives because everything has been so unstable since they became an adult. And it's crazy. And then people say, well, why doesn't Gen Z care about anything? Because what's the point? Like, everything just gets cast aside, jump to one to one. There's no stability anymore, right? Like there was back in the 90s and the 80s and things like that, right? So yeah, I don't know. I definitely think, I don't know. I think they showed the generation strives really, really, really well. And I think with the whole Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt's character was upset that she, kind of took her to Dior, but Emily didn't at the same time fight for her job there. And I think in a weird way, Meryl was kind of like testing on her of like, how much do you really want this? Because what Meryl wants is someone like Stanley Tucci's character, who I loved in this role. I just felt like he had a very soft, like, I don't know, he was still himself, but he had like a very soft, different type of vibe, I guess, and just more, quiet comfort, I guess, and but still sassy, you know what I mean? But there was one scene that drove me crazy. They were eating lunch, right? And there was Stanley Tucci had an empty plate, and she's eating, and he had like food surrounding his empty plate, and there was nothing on his plate. I don't know why that bugged me, but anyway, but like other than that, like I just thought it was really, really well done, and I kind of feel like Meryl's character was kind of like testing Anne in her own way, because I think she probably knew a lot more and wanted to see how she would react and how far she goes. And she wanted people like Stanley that continuously would just go, 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 and kind of fit in that mold and accept Meryl who she is, because she's not going to change, right? And there's a reason why the magazine was so successful, right? It's because of her work and her passion, right? And so she doesn't want people around her that's not passionate about it. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know, but I think that's what her thought process was. So I really liked it. I really, really liked it. The only thing is, if they make a third one, I wish it was a little bit more fast paced, because it wasn't slow in the sense it wasn't entertaining, because there's some movies like that where it's just like, all right, we've been like, you know what I mean? But so it was still entertaining. I was still laughing pretty much every scene, or emotional every scene. It just wasn't as like, you know, a lot going on, right? Like they kind of towards the end they did a little bit, but I wish in the middle they had some of that. But I also liked her boyfriend. I thought her boyfriend, or the guy that she meets with, was adorable, and they were super cute together, and like had a good dynamic, and it was just good. I really enjoyed it. The more I talk about it, the more I like it. Like, like I said, the only time me and Kermie kind of like looked at each other, where we're just like, we both kind of had the same thought, where we're like, okay, it's a little like, it's not as fast paced, but again, I'm kind of glad they did this. And if they do make a third one, I hope they kind of make up for it and make it a little bit more action packed with the same kind of like dialogue and concept. So anyway, I really liked it. Anne Hathaway did a great job. I thought she was adorable. Emily Blunt did a great job. Like everyone did a really good job. So definitely liked it. Then we watched Send Help, and I've been wanting to see that movie forever, because love um I love Rachel McAdams um doing action. I don't know why. I just think she does such a good job in those type of like actions, because I just think she just like lets it go, and she just doesn't care what she looks like, and she just I love it. Like, and I think with this movie she did the exact same thing. With this movie, I really liked it. Again, it was something different than I thought, but I still really enjoyed it. Like, looking back at it, like, again, there was sometimes maybe it was a little too long. I guess that's my only complaint with it. It's just maybe some parts didn't need to be in there just to keep it going fast paced. But I still really liked it, because I, the beginning was like my favorite, because it's just like the way she was like being treated in the office, and like how she handled it, where you're like, okay, this girl's a little crazy, but she's not being treated fair, but like, so you're like sympathizing with her, but at the same time you're like, there's something really off with her. Like, you know what I mean? But you just don't quite know, you know what I mean? But like, she's just like a passionate, really smart person, right? And I thought it was funny. I thought she played crazy so good. I thought Dylan O'Brien did such a good job as well. I'm not very familiar with his work. I know he did that like wolf thing. Let me look him up real quick. Like, I just never got into his stuff, but um, hang on one second. Like, I know he did a TV show. Um, let's see. Yeah, Teen Wolf. I think that was like his first thing. Like, I'm familiar with him, but I'm not super familiar. I thought he did a really, really good job. Really, really good job. I thought he was funny. I thought he played one of those cocky a-holes really well. I thought his girlfriend on the show, Zuri, she did a fabulous job as well. She spooked the crap out of me when she came back as like a premonition, as a ghost or whatever. But yeah, the really good job, really good casting, really good movie. The ending was great too, and I like, it was so funny, because at the end I was like, Kirby, I hope she still has her bird. And like the end, like they show her with her bird. I was like, okay, like, you know what I mean? But like, she did a really good job. Like, just, I don't know. I love Rachel McAdams. I think, and I like her. I don't know why. I'm like, she did great in The Notebook, whatever. But I'm like, what was the other thing she did? She did like red, something red, where she was on a plane. I think that was one of my favorite movies. I just love it when she kicks butt, because she just has such a sweet, adorable face, but at the same time, it's like she just played crazy well. She really did. And Dylan did a really good job too. So I really enjoyed that movie, and I feel like they had really good chemistry. Like, they did a good job. So, um, yeah, I was really excited to see some good movies and stuff. So there's some other movies we want to see in theaters, but we might wait into theaters to see if they come in streaming because usually we like to like watch TV at home. But it was nice to go out and we saw an early viewing, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got a big thing of popcorn and ended up throwing most of it away. But like that popcorn is like so good when it's like nice and warm movie theater popcorn when it like just comes out and you have like all the buttery and stuff like that. But then after like I don't know like couple bites and stuff. It gets like I don't know. I just can never finish the whole thing. But I got a large because I had like a deal, but it's whatever. So but yeah, so that was what we watched. I recommend both of those. Yeah, I'm really excited because I've been wanting to see that said help movie and it didn't disappoint. It was very good. So um yeah, and let's move on into the Kouri Richins. So there's really not much to talk about. I mentioned this. The only reason I'm saying this right now is um she I've been following the case a little bit. It was a horrible case. I watched some of the family testimonial and like how it affected them, and it's heartbreaking. You can tell they're definitely still it's still very fresh, right? And yeah, I don't really have much to say on it because they haven't gone through the verdict. I don't know what the the defense team is doing by dragging out like they're literally having her people that she's working with in the jailhouse speak for her. Like every freaking person she's talked to since the freaking trial started is like speaking for her. And I feel like they're just like for some reason delaying it and just being disrespectful. The family just wants this to close. And they're also going to do another trial for like financial damages and things like that. And she wants to show up for the trial for that. And I hate when people drag things out for their own selfish reasons, right? And that's what I feel like they're doing with this stuff. They're just having everyone speak for her. I can understand like she has a right to have people to speak for her in her sentencing, especially when it's something this, you know, intense. But it's literally like people saying like, well, I don't know her that well. I've known her for a while, but when I've talked to her, she's been so nice to me. And it's like, all right, well, you're literally work for the jail. She's for a volunteer. Like she's not gonna start cussing you out. Like I don't know the point of it. One of her friends was like, she kept such a nice household and made crock pot meals, and I even took some of her crock pot meals because the recipes were so good. I what? I don't care. Like, I don't know. Martha Stewart's a better cook than her, and she still had to do her time, and she did it with a smile. Well, I don't know if she did it for a smile, but you know what I'm saying. I like Martha Stewart a lot. I think she's badass. But like you know what I'm saying. Like what? Like she made good crock. I don't care. Like she murdered her husband, and now her kids are left parentless basically. So and they keep going back to her poor kids, using them as like give her a chance to get parole so she could be there for her kids. I'm like, just stop using your kids. Anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on. I'll keep watching it but by the end of this haunted journal and see if there's any updates with it, but right now they're still yapping about I have no idea. But the judge certainly has um been great in this case. So hopefully he does the right thing. In my mind, she doesn't deserve parole. She'll be all right. She's already adapting to jail life and she can go teach people and feel superior and all that crap. So anyway, let's move on. Yeah, I took a mini break or whatever from filming this and they're still going on. I swear they're just doing this to be annoying. Uh yeah, the as far as the Kouri Richards thing, they're still yapping about stuff. And the funny thing is, the judge already made its decision. You can postpone it as long as you want, but it's coming whether you like it or not, lady. So anyway, um, I just feel bad for the family because you can tell it's just a lot for them. So um, let's move on. Supernatural updates for myself. Nothing much, but Buddy has been acting weird in the sense of every night he just like sits by my door and guards it. Like he won't come in. Like I'll offer him to come in, and like sometimes I'll leave the door open to see if he wants to come in because normally I like to have my door shut at night. And even when I leave it open, he'll just sit like right in front of the door and just like stare out into the living room sitting by my door. And I'm like, are you like, he's been doing that for a while at night. Like yesterday he did. I was like, do you want to come in? Do you want to go outside? He didn't want to do any of that. He just wanted to sit by my door. And so I shut it and he would just sit there and just watch the place. Like I'm like, what are you doing? And now he's exhausted today. So I don't know if he was up all night doing chaos. Um, but yeah, it was kind of strange. He's been doing that lately. He acts weird during the summer, so I'll keep you posted on that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's his like new thing. Like he will sit by my, if there's like people in the house, he will come in my room and just sit by the door. And like if he hears them walking by, he'll kind of do like especially if it's a guy he doesn't know, he'll do like a little like because he's just very protective of his mommy in his house. Like when he's out and about, he's a good boy, but like he's just protective of his mommy, and I don't mind that. And and so like he just that's I understand there's people there, but there's no one there, and he's just like kind of like reminding me of like when a person was doing work and I just left Buddy in my room. Buddy would just like kind of sit by the door and like be like, okay, like protecting my mommy, right? And then he's kind of doing the same thing but outside my door. It's kind of weird. Yeah, so that's the update. So I don't know if since it's summer where things are happening, I will keep you posted because like I said, last summer I had a very active um paranormal summer. So we'll see what's going on there. It'll be interesting. I mentioned this before in my Lost Haunted Journal. I've been feeling again the feeling in my bed being pushed down like another cat or another animal is in the bed while we're sleeping, but Kitty is fast asleep like on our head or she's like in the bathroom or something, and we'll hear little pushing down. That's happening again as well. So those are the updates. I'm gonna go look at some of uh, Buddy's camera footage and see if I see anything. Give me one moment. Okay, so nothing in the camera footage, but that's okay. I'll keep looking. To be honest, I haven't been looking every day, and so um, I got to start getting back into that, especially since he's been acting even weirder. Oh, same thing. He's sitting on the porch doing the same thing. Like today, he would not go pee. In the morning, I even took him out later than normal, and he just wouldn't go. He just would not go pee. He would just sit on the porch, and then eventually be like, "Okay, you want to go back inside?" And then he runs back inside. So I don't know what's out there scaring my dog, but there are some days where he just, and then like some days he'll like run up before me and then he'll just like stare and make sure I'm coming with him to get inside. It's weird, but like I said, if like it's kind of like the norm now, especially like I said during the summer. So keep, I will keep you posted on that. But yeah, I think that's it for today. I know it hasn't been too much on the supernatural front, but like I said, I'm not gonna like make things up. So there we go. Yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. Last thing, oh, there is another show I want to see. I know it's kind of random, but uh that Lindsay Lohan is actually in, and it's gonna be on Hulu, and it seems like a show I really would like. It's called Count My Lies. And they started production, I guess, in just this month. And it's based on Sophie Staffa's 2012 novel. The series follows Nanny, who plays by Shailene Woodley, which I really like her as well, who takes a job for a couple. Which is Lohan's character and Kit Harrington, with the plot unfolding into a dark thriller with secrets. So it sounds like kind of one of those like Colleen Hoover-esque type things, but I'm into it. So I'm excited. I think it's like different for Lindsay to play. So I'm very excited. I like her a lot. And yeah, I'm just happy for her. So I'm excited to see that. It seems like a different role for her. So I'm excited to see it and check it out. So that is on my radar as well. So when that comes out, I will be watching that and reviewing that as well. But yeah, I know this was more movie based, but that's sometimes how it is. But I hope everyone's doing well. And as always, stay curious and stay tuned into the supernatural. Thanks for watching.